Hi and welcome. I had an oh my god experience just now, and I really wanted to make a video about this. It's once again an anniversary of the appall. I can't even know what to call it. In this article, it's called Peak Cringe. Do you remember Imagine being sung at the beginning of the pandemic to inspire us all to be better people by an assemblage of Hollywood actors? That was really something. I remember the first time I saw it, I was just like, and then I had to do some energy work in order to, oh, oh my, oh my, oh my. And I've never really thought about it. This is a very, very well known song that has been sung for a long, long time and held to be such a wonderful thing, such a marvelous message of hope and peace. But when I heard her singing it yesterday again, I went, "Oh my God, what are you saying? What is this? Imagine there's no heaven? Imagine there's no heaven? It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky." What this song is actually saying is that you have no immortality. It's the most unspiritual post-hypnotic suggestion ever. It's saying this that, oh my God, I had a real mind blown moment there. This is terrible. I come from a world where people have real spirits, real energy bodies, and a part of these real energy bodies, there is a energy system that is not tied to any physical organ, and definitely not to no pineal gland or such nonsense. And because it isn't tied to any physical system at all, this immortal soul can ascend after we die physically. And the energy systems that are tied to physical systems are going down with the physical body. But this energy system that isn't connected, it's sitting at a higher level, that energy system goes on, and that is our spiritual immortality. This is how it works. And then we have, of course, in Star Matrix, the report from the people who are thinking they're close to death, like the people in the airplanes of crash survivors, where their life flashes before their eyes. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the final upload of the memories, the star memories from this life, into this energy system that will survive physical death and will go on at the energy levels to have more and future experiences. And where will they be having these experiences? Well, at the non-physical levels, and heaven, that would be sanctuary. And that's how it works. This is, as far as I'm concerned, how it works. So you snuff it, and then you wake up in a place, and that could be the Garden of Eden, that could be heaven, that could be the eternal hunting grounds, that could be Valhalla, that could be paradise. But in our language, it's often referred to as heaven. Now, depending on what you've been getting up to with your soul during your physical life, your soul may be small and young and possibly malnourished, and might not be able to cope so well in these new spiritual realms, in this heavenly realm. But that's a story for a complete day. The point being is that humans, being essentially not just flesh bags that stumble around until they fall over and then they rot, but do have this spiritual dimension. In order to stay sane, they actually need the concept of the afterlife so that they don't go completely nuts in old age and get terrified and have something to look forward to when the physical body isn't as good as it used to be anymore, or if we're getting sick or we're getting older, something like that. Or in also many other situations, like when a loved one dies. And they're these the concept of the soul of the loved one going on to have further experiences in the non-physical realm is super important in the dealing with bereavement, for example. People can die of a broken heart if they don't believe in an afterlife. Immortality is absolutely non negotiable for thinking, feeling, conscious human beings trying to make it through life without going completely crazy. It is non negotiable, literally non negotiable. You can go around in your life thinking that this physical life here is all we've got and that we all will ever have, and that from 20 years onwards, it's all downhill into pain and suffering and worm fodder. You can think that if you want to, but I can tell you that this is not going to make you into a happier or healthier person or somebody who gets the utmost they can out of this life. This is not going to help you to think that, to believe that. It's not going to help you. The concept of immortality is absolutely of the essence for human beings to deal with the fact that our physical existence can come to an abrupt end at any time. Stress is the mind killer. It's also the immune system killer. It's the body killer. It's the relationship killer. It is also the societal killer. And the absence of heaven in the future beyond physical life is absolutely essential for people to not be so terribly stressed all the time, so that they don't go Karen every 5 minutes, so that they don't start wars, so that they don't start getting the pickaxes out against the neighbors, their friends, their family, other people. It is of the essence. So I just wanted to say that today. This extremely popular song that totally denies the existence of an afterlife by saying to people, imagine there's no heaven. That's a post-hypnotic suggestion, followed by it's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Okay, just sky, atmosphere, planets, nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing to ascend to. That is a terrible message. It's incredibly destructive to the human spirit. It isn't helpful in the least. And peace, again, which is also called for in the song, isn't the answer. I've made a video about that. Peace is nothing, nada, zilch, zero. What we need to move towards love. And in order to do that, we need to be less stressed. And in order to be less stressed, we have to get that into our consciousness, into our conscious awareness that we are immortal. We are immortal beings that will go on to have further star events in the non-physical realms after our physical demise. We need that. We need to think that. I have created a structure by which it becomes really quite logical to think that and to feel that and to believe that. I'm not the only person to say this, but I'm not asking you to have faith in my words or faith in somebody else's words and just believe it. because that doesn't work for modern human beings. It's just doesn't work. We've been lied to so incredibly by authority figures. We have become so distrustful. But there is what I call the inevitable discovery. There is a way that people think, if they think that way, that it becomes a reality from something that could be possible. And it would be nice if it was, that we could go on to heaven after our physical demise, or that we're lying in the hospital bed, dying of some horrible disease. And we can soothe ourselves through those long nights with the thought of heaven, what heaven might be like, what we might find there, what we might learn there when we get there. It doesn't diminish the life we're leading here and now at all. This is another one of those misinformation, deprogramming, fake news things. When you have a heaven as a concept on your future timeline awaiting you, you become just a more relaxed person, a better version of yourself, because you're not so horrendously stressed. This, I believe, is possibly the core stress at the very bottom of the problems of humanity. This thing of freaking out, of understanding, putting two and two together, that tribal members died, and that is going to happen to me one day, and I will turn into bones. And that's that's possibly the great original stress fracture. And people have been trying to address this and have talked of the afterlife and taken the afterlife very, very seriously, very, very seriously, for a long, long time, and for good, good reason. I don't want you necessarily to believe in an afterlife. I want you to have this as a inevitable discovery. And the way to do that is obviously through star matrix, those moments that flash before our eyes as the plane is ditching down towards the ocean. And you will note there's no trauma in there. It's the best moments of your life. When you engage with your star memories consciously for a while, it becomes just less and less likely that we are just stumbling flesh bags. There are too many experiences, too much evidence locked up in these star memories, which we haven't been able to look at because we've been misdirected onto trauma for the last 100 years. At the same time as humans' ability to think more, question more, read and write, start to really become more intelligent has increased, our connection with our star memories, where we could get the next step of wisdom from, has been shrunk and taken off the table altogether. That's a tragedy. And in the meantime, some guy who used to lie around in a bed and be served by servants, super rich guy, and do a lot of hash, makes this song, Imagine There's No Heaven. And in his own way, he has thereby exacerbated the huge stress crisis of humanity. We need to have that heaven first, and then we have less stress, we have more love to give, we have more understanding to give, may have more patience, we may have more wisdom, and then we may move towards evolving this everlasting fighting and war towards love, not towards peace, but towards love for each other. And heaven is a huge component of that journey from the darkness to the stars. So that is what I saw when I was reminded of this cringe inducing video. And I would love to leave you with, for you to start to wonder about what your heaven's going to be. When I ask you, your heaven, what is it going to be? What is the time of day? The time of year? What is the environment? What are the plants, the structures? What is this place? And make that connection and go to sanctuary and explore it and learn something and find some interesting things there before you all of a sudden snuff out because you've been hit by a bus or something and find yourself there and have no familiarity with these otherworldly realms that we can access at will, which is just extraordinary. And that, of course, is sanctuary, and that is a story for another day. But in the meantime, heaven is important. Paradise is important. The eternal hunting grounds are important. And the more we, well, just spend a little time contemplating these really, really important structural questions about life, death, afterlife, and the meaning of life, yeah, the better off we will be. Because, my goodness, our spirits are living energy bodies. They really do need all the attention and all the love that they've never had in order to grow up, become strong, become powerful, and then with this final upload, allowing our soul to move on forward into the non-physical levels. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe there's a heaven. I know there's a heaven. And I have to say, sometimes I'm rather looking forward to what I will find when I get there. With lots and lots of blessings, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.